Hi, welcome to another episode of Live on What You Grow. Today I'm going to show you how I make my compost, and I use mainly leaves and grass clippings and biochar. And this is the pile that we've been working on since last year, and our neighbor brought over some grass clippings, so I was able to use some of that mountains of leaves that we had piled up over there. So this pile actually shrank down to about that high. So everything from here up is what we did this year. Well, let me show you over here what we're going to turn that into. I use this shredder in the springtime to make this very fine mulch. And I use this to put around my plants to conserve water. It breaks down very rapidly into the soil. Take a look at this. It's absolutely perfect for putting into the soil. Okay, you can see here, this is the bed that I put the asparagus plants in a couple of weeks ago. The spears that we had coming up, the rabbits came and they destroyed that. So I put this fence up, and I wanted to make it 5 feet high because these asparagus plants are going to grow up about 5 feet high after you stop picking them and you let it fern out so that it can store up energy for next year. Okay, come on over here. I'm going to show you what I did with the mulch over here. And these are the Egyptian onions that are perennials. They just come up every year. And I just put this around it to suppress weeds and to conserve moisture. But look at how beautiful it looks. And that's another reason why that I like to use that mulch. Look at this area where these Jerusalem artichokes are. You can see how barren that it looks. It doesn't really look very nice at all. But let's get back over to the compost and let's start making some. Okay, so this is a bin that I had from last year. This is what I ground up over there. Because it's only 6 months old and it was over the winter, it didn't have a lot of time for much decomposition. But the area in the middle was where all of the black decomposed part was, and the areas around the outside, you can see that it wasn't even decomposed at all. So I left those. Why are you laughing at me? That's not very funny. I could have hurt myself. Anyway, now what was I talking about? I was talking about the leaves. Okay, so those didn't decompose, so I left those in there, and that's going to form the base of the next layer of grass clipping that I'm going to be putting on. Now, if you come in and you can see that I did put a layer of biochar in there. And the biochar is going to be very important because it's going to absorb all of the nutrients from the compost pile and lock them in so that they don't leach out, so that we can get that for that fertility for our garden beds. We're going to water it between layers, and you're going to want to water it for about a minute in between each layer. But it's very important, especially the lower layers, because a lot of times I will empty out the compost pile, and right at the very bottom there is no decomposition taking place at all, and that's because there was no moisture in it. Okay, so I wet that down really good. Now my neighbor brings me bags of grass 2 times a week. I'm just going to put that layer of grass in, spread it out. And I'm going to put a layer of biochar in between each layer. I'll put about 2 cans in each time. take some of these leaves. Branch. Now this is partially decomposed because it was sitting in this bin all winter. Some cardboard in there, that's fine. Here is there's some paper bags that the leaves were in. It's all decomposable. All I do is I just make sure that all the grass is covered. And I'll take another can of biochar. Now this is a no-turn compost pile, which makes it really super easy because I'm just going to make it and I'm just going to leave it. And there are a lot of controversies on how to make the proper types of compost, but as I tell you always, that I use microscopy in order to make sure that I'm maintaining the proper fungal and the bacterial ratio. You need about a 1-to-1 ratio. So the bacteria is going to actually decompose the grass clippings, and the fungus is going to decompose the leaf matter. And by putting the biochar in there, because there's going to be some ammonia that is going to be created from the bacterial action of the grass clippings, and the biochar is actually going to absorb that ammonia, and ammonia is one of the key ingredients for having good growth in your plants. So I think that what we have here is really good, and so don't put comments in there saying that I'm doing it the wrong way. If you think that I'm doing it the wrong way, that's fine, but this is something that really works, and my microscopy shows that it is actually perfect for my soil, especially since that I'm putting it on top of the soil. I'm not mixing this into the soil, I'm putting it on top as a mulch. So because that we're doing that, it's not going to interfere with the soil life that is underneath, and even if there were some anaerobic bacteria, there will always be some, but even if there are some, that it will be practically negated by the fact that I'm putting it on the top, and it's going to be exposed to air by being on the top, and any anaerobic bacteria on it will perish. This particular bag, he used a lawnmower with a bagger on it, so that one is mixed with leaves and grass. That's actually perfect. That's what I really like. Now all of these other bags of leaves that I have over here, I just picked up by the side of the road, and I'm actually very choosy. I only pick up leaves from non-oak tree because they break down faster, but I also seek to get the ones that are already ground up. Like all of these leaves that are right here, that's just the way they came out of the bag, so that they were already ground up. And that, of course, is going to speed up the decomposition. I'm only going to put a little bit of leaves in this layer because the grass from the last layer was already mixed with some leaves. Now that particular bag of grass clippings had hardly any grass in it, which means I'll just add a little bit more just to cover up the green grass. Now one of the reasons why that you don't want to turn a fungally dominated compost pile is because that The mycelium from the fungi, they're hyphae. They're like little roots that are going down into the compost pile, and that's what breaks down wood and leaves, dry matter, high carbon content matter through a fungal action that if I were to turn this pile, I would be breaking those threads. And that's why that we want to have in our garden soil, in our garden beds, that we want to have mycorrhiza fungus, which is going to attach itself to the roots of the plants, and it is going to go down deep into the soil to mine nutrients and water for that plant. It is something that is very, very beneficial. All of the, almost all of your plants in your garden want to have fungally dominated soil. The only exceptions really are the cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, things that belong to the Brassica family. But otherwise, you want to have a fungally dominated. So by not turning it, we're not breaking up those hyphae from the mycorrhiza. Okay. Now he brings me grass clippings about every 3 days. Okay, let me water that in really good. And I actually forgot to water the last couple of layers, so I'm going to go for about 5 minutes on this one. But the water is very, very important. Say by putting the grass clippings in layers like this, they're actually very, very thin layers. It's not going to turn into a map. If you just put grass clippings in a pile all by itself, it would definitely turn anaerobic, and you get that smell, and it gets a very high heat of over 160 degrees, which is terrible for your compost. You don't want it to be that high. But by having the leaves in between, and especially having the biochar, which is going to be absorbing the ammonia that would normally just escape into the atmosphere, I think that that's one of the reasons why the biochar, I think, is one of the reasons why that this system works so well. But the best part about it is that you don't have to turn it. You look at some of the videos from some of the expert gardeners that are out there, and when they make compost, and they use manure and a lot of vegetable scraps, household scraps and things like that, you've got to turn those piles, and you've got to turn them like every 3 days, and you've got to let that pile heat up, every bit of that pile, the inside and the outside. You got to put the inside where the outside was and the outside where the inside was, and you have to do that like every 3 days. Look at the size of that pile over there. Can you imagine turning that pile every 3 days? That pile weighs over 2 tons. And I've got a bad back. I forgot to tell you that. You know, you might think, well, that's a lot of water. You're saturating that. You know, if I dug down 4 inches, it wouldn't even be wet at all. And when you wet that biochar, all the very fine particles are going to go down in deep into that compost. All right, that's enough. Okay, now we need some more leaves. This is the very best way to activate your biochar, by the way, is in your compost. A piece of cardboard. I think I might have one more bag of leaves, grass. This can weighed about 100 pounds when I started. And it was the smallest of the cans, and I got 6 cans of it this year. So we probably got over 700 pounds of biochar this year. And the value of that, judging by what people are charging for it, would be about $15,000 worth of biochar. So you can imagine that if people are spending money on biochar and putting it into the soil, it must be worth the money that they're paying for it. So very critical component for living on what you grow. Put one more layer of leaves on here. Okay, as we're starting to dig down into this pile, and you start to see this is what I shred. If I find a worm, I grab that worm out of there and I put it in my worm bin. So you can see how the middle of the pile is going to heat up a lot more and decompose a lot faster. But all of this right here, all of that will go right into the shredder. Well, maybe not quite, but as you get farther toward the middle, I think you know what I mean. Okay, in about 3 days, what I've just done here is going to settle down to about half its height. And then I'll be able to put more grass clippings in here. And I'll be using up all these undecayed leaves to use that. And then once I get down to this, then I'm going to go shred that all up again. And then I'll be ready to start filling up this compost bin once that one is full. That one will probably sink down probably about another 2 feet, so I'll have room. And that's part of my problem, is that I don't have enough compost bin space in order to store all of that. So anyway, we've got more videos coming really soon, and I'll be looking forward to talking to you on the next video.